Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, August 27th, 2021. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we will continue to see smoke impacting much of central Nevada and the northern half of Utah. The area of densest smoke will shift south a bit tomorrow, returning on Sunday. We're also looking at the potential for some west-southwesterly winds across the Sierra Front on Sunday. That will be combined with low relative humidity, and we'll also see the potential for isolated wet thunderstorms across the south on Sunday. Over the past 24 hours, we did see some lightning across eastern Utah, as well as precipitation. Most of those storms were wet. However, with that lightning, we did pick up a few new starts across eastern and southeastern Utah. Looking at precipitation over the past 7 days, it's been quite wet across the eastern two-thirds of the Great Basin. And looking back the past 30 days, the driest portion of the area has been western Nevada, and that is where there is wind concern for the next few days. ERCs are generally below the 50th percentile across Utah. They trend higher to the north and west where conditions have been hotter and drier, but still ERCs remain generally below the 90th percentile across the entire Great Basin. Continuing to look at ERCs, GB12, which is in western Nevada, is near record values for the time of year. This is really our only PSA. Western Nevada is really the only portion of the Great Basin with high ERCs. Elsewhere, as you can see in GB25, ERCs are well below what we typically see at this time of year. Live fuel moisture remains low across much of the area. This is looking at 1,000-hour fuels, and you can see across much of Idaho, 1,000-hour fuels are below average. However, further south where we have received more precipitation and have seen more higher relative humidities, those 1,000-hour fuels are above average. The satellite this morning is continuing to have some issues, so there's no looping image here. However, from this static image, you can see quite a bit of smoke impacting the Great Basin. It's really only far southern Nevada and southeastern Utah that are not seeing smoke impacts today. So looking at today, there is an upper low moving to the north of the Great Basin. With our significant fire potential forecast today, no highlights, and the only brown PSCs are in Nevada. Looking at today in more detail, we are expecting some gusty winds across the Snake River Plain in Idaho, as well as portions of southern Utah and the Arizona Strip. Relative humidities will be driest across central and southern Nevada. As we move into Saturday, we'll see the upper low move off to the east. Relative humidities will remain lowest across western Nevada. We're also looking at winds picking up across northern and western Nevada on Sunday, with wind gusts in the 20 to 30 mile an hour range possible in the afternoon. Over the next 3 days, no precipitation is expected across the area. So moving to Monday, we'll begin to see another upper low move into the Pacific Northwest. Ahead of this system, winds will begin to increase again across western Nevada. We have a high risk issued for Monday across western Nevada, as this is where we will see low relative humidities, gusty winds, and where the fuels are driest. So moving to Tuesday, that upper low continues to make its way towards the Great Basin. We'll continue to see gusty winds across western Nevada and have a high risk issued again for Tuesday across those same areas. Moving into Wednesday, again, looking at the upper low really slowly making its way to the north of the area. We'd expect to see gusty winds continue into Wednesday, but don't have a high risk yet, just because it's far enough out in time that we're waiting to see how models change going into next week. And then finally Thursday, still looking at the potential for some gusty winds across the western and southern part of the Great Basin ahead of that approaching system. The 7-day period, we're looking at quite a bit of precipitation across the southern and eastern part of the Great Basin as monsoonal moisture is pulled into the Great Basin from the south ahead of that upper low. Finally, in the 8 to 14-day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for below normal precipitation across much of the Great Basin, as well as above normal temperatures. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.